lot of involvement in school, you know. They come from Fishers, so it's, long drive. It is very long drive for them.
Yeah. Rebecca texted me a couple of days ago saying that she misses coming here, but she has too many things going on that she has to spend time at home for now. But Rebecca is one of my patients who went into remission off all meds because of this activity. Yes, yeah, but she loves coming here. Yeah, when she doesn't have too much at home to do with her kids. Yeah.
Grateful I can make time.
Yeah.
I have the time to come here. Are you from Michigan?
I'm from Michigan,
That's
yes.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Where, if you don't mind me?
I'm from Ann Arbor, where the
Okay, I know.
university is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm a Michigan football fan, and I have to wear my.
You were born there?
I was born there.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's very beautiful.
Are we on?
Yeah.
Okay, so we are live. Okay, let me just put this back on. So, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Yeah, welcome, Claire, to our session here. So, since Claire is new, I'm going to just make a quick introduction about what we do here. And so, we have been doing this Saturday meditation for about 3 years. This month it will be 3 years. And I started this because I know meditation was the thing that helped me heal, and then I looked into the research of meditation, and I tried to get my patient to meditate back then when I started to see the benefit of it. But at the beginning, when I said meditation, a lot of my patients resisted, and some of them thought it was a religious practice. They said, "Oh, I'm a Christian, I can't meditate, that's not for me by my faith." And then I looked more into the research of meditation, and I saw that, okay, for my courses of Vipassana meditation, the first thing the teacher taught was the breath work. The very first thing that he taught was the breath work. And I think, Judy, you were in that class too, right? So the very first thing he taught was the breath work. And I thought, okay, well, how does meditation work? And then I read more about the research, and it turns out to be the vagus nerve stimulation. When you do the breath work, you activate some vagus nerve meditation, but the vagus nerve meditation now is a big, huge thing in healthcare, right? It's now used for the treatment of autoimmune disease and inflammatory disease and mental health disorders and addiction and so many other things, like eating disorders also. So then I thought, oh, okay, I understand why it works. So instead of asking my patient to practice meditation, now I just say, okay, you activate your vagus nerve. Then
that makes sense more.
And then they will do it.
Yeah.
If I say you activate your vagus nerve by your deep breathing, and then many more patients do it. Yeah, but and so I thought, okay, how do I get my patients to do it? Because I don't have time to teach in the office visit. I don't. And so with the help of one of my patients, Amy, she is very good with technology. So when she heard that I wanted to bring this to patients, and she was one of my patients, and she previously did try meditation but didn't know how to practice. I got her into the class to learn with a monk the same with me too. So she took the class, and Sean, my very first patient who went into remission, joined the class. Well, Sean joined later. I got him and Amy into the class to learn with the monk. And by then, the monks started to give me some sessions to guide. When he's not available, I would guide. So I became a kind of teacher for the basic class, and that's how I started to learn how to guide meditation with him. So Amy, when she heard I say that I want to bring this to a patient, and she said, okay, I can make it happen for you. So all of this setup was done by Amy. Yeah, the sound, the lights and everything, the recording, and the YouTube channel. She and one of her employees helped. And we started that in November of 2022. Yeah. So, and then people would come and go, but I teach the practice of mindfulness meditation using the breath work as the basic tool. And then once you know how to focus on the breath work, then you can focus on the other senses of the body, and then you can focus on the interaction between the environment and your senses, and what that interaction brings, and then you can make decision based on that. So basically, it's a practice of raising awareness of what's going on with your body, your six senses, and change negative to positive, because every sense that we have, like last week we said about the sixth sense. I hope you remember, right? So the six senses are the eyes, the ears, the nose, the mouth, the body, and the mind. Okay, but the mind controls all other senses, though. And for each senses, we have subject of the senses. So for the eyes, the subject of the eyes are what we see. So those are the subject of the sense of the eye, the vision sense. The subject of the hearing is what? Sound, voice, everything that you hear, that's the subject. And then the subject of the nose is smelling sense, right? Smell, the odor or whatever. The subject of the mouth is what you eat, you taste, and also the language, right? The language of other people speaking, the way they speak. The subject of the body, the skin, is touch, and the subject of the mind is thoughts, okay? So, but how are you interacting with those subjects? How are you interacting with the thing that you see, the thing that you hear, the thing that you smell, the thing that you, right? Yeah, but for each interaction, it's either negative or positive. And so in this practice, we want to raise the awareness and see how we interacting with that. And if it's negative, how can we change it to become positive? And we want to cultivate the positive and letting go of the negative. So this is what we want to practice. So using the breath as the basic tool, it helps you to focus on, bring your focus onto what you're doing. A lot of people cannot bring the focus immediately into what they're doing. So we use the breath to help the people to focus with that. So in the session, I would guide how to breathe, and then at times we do a body scan. So the body scan meditation is where we try to focus on our senses. We can go from top to toes, or from toes back up to the top, and go slowly down and see what we're seeing going on in our scanning. How does the forehead feel? How does the eyes and the cheekbones or cheek muscles feel? And you go down to the neck, and you go down to the shoulders. you see how your heart feels. Is it fast or slow that is beating? How do your lungs um, do, right? Are you breathing fast or slow? And then you go down to the gut and you bring awareness of how your GI system is feeling or doing at the time. And then you go down to the pelvis and you go down to the knees and therefore. So you get to know your body. You get to know yourself that way. Yeah. But the topic that I chose for today is what I call thoughts matter, the mind and body connection. Okay, mind and body connection. And a lot of chronic illnesses stem from the mind, from the thoughts. So this is based on research. And if you listen to Dr. Ellen Langer, she must be in her 70s. I'm not sure what her age is, but she has been a really renowned professor at Harvard in psychology, and she did so many studies about mindfulness and how the thoughts can lead to chronic illnesses. And she has written many books. One of her most recent books is the Mindful Body. So if you want to get that book and read the Mindful Body, but her research showed that the thoughts can change the physical health. The thoughts can change the physical health. And two of her famous research that she quoted was, and the first one that she did way in her many years ago, it was called a counterclockwise study. So the counterclockwise study, she recruited seniors, I think in their 70s or 80s or whatever, and then these people who enrolled in the study would be put in the home where the environment is set up as the 70s. Okay, so they live in their past. Yeah, when they were younger, Yeah, so they would, so they would cook, they would eat, they would listen to music, they would do things like they talk about things of that time. And just in 1 week, the changes, the transformation in these seniors are visible. They sleep better, they walk better, they look younger, okay, only in 1 week. So, and yes. So, so the thoughts, what's going on up here, can change the physical body. For it depends on what you're thinking, right? If you're thinking happy, your body is going to be younger. If you're thinking stress, your body is going to be aging faster than your chronological age. And the other study is the MAID study, study. So it's about how you think about exercise. So in this study, they study the people who clean big hotel, right? The maids. So they would clean, and there are two groups. So before that, the maids didn't think that what they do were exercise. They just think it was just a job. So they think that exercise is anything outside of that. And so they put in two groups. So one group, they just let that group do the same and think the same, think that, okay, this is not exercise, your exercise is outside of this. The other group is that, oh, this is exercise, I'm exercising all day long, and again, in a very short period of time, the group that thought that their work is exercise, they started to lose weight. The other group didn't lose weight.
Thoughts matter.
thoughts matters. So if we want to heal our physical body, we need to start with the thoughts. Yeah, and she said something like, "Don't try, just do it." A lot of us just say, "I'll try," So that's the thought process again. I'll try, but she said, "No, don't try. Just make a commitment and say, I'm going to do it, or I will do it." Right? So don't try, because she said that if you put the try word in it already, you think you're set up for failure. Yeah. So so just do it, or just commit and saying, I commit to doing that thing. Then it will be successful. And then about making decisions, he said something like, people try so hard to make the right decision, but in fact, sometimes the decision that you thought is bad decision turn out to be the right decision, right? So, and I was talking to Amy yesterday. Amy came to my office to help me to set up the phone system, and so she said, "Well, the job that I did before, just before this job, it was so stressful, and she was miserable in that job. She was overworking and suffering from pain and fatigue and things like that. And now looking back, she said, well, if I didn't make the decision to join that company and went through all of that, I wouldn't have met my current work partner, who is so good. So, because of that decision, yes. So now she came out of that job, started her own company, and she have this person who she met at the last job to be the very, very good, reliable support employee. So good came out of something that you thought it was bad, but it's not. Yeah. So, and another thing that she said, I think she, with her research and her wisdom, there was so many good advice that if you read her book, you'll get a lot more. But one of the advices she gave was also about overthinking about uncertainty. A lot of people just worry about what is going to happen, and we don't know what's going to happen. We will never know. So why worry?
A small parenthesis about.
Yeah.
I just read on online. I was reading about the book. I was searching about the book, and it's funny that you said that, because it says, don't look for the how, look for the why.
Why? Yes.
I don't know if you ever heard. I've never heard of that.
No, but
I
that's
had like a insight. I'm like, yes, every single time I look, but how is it gonna happen? And then I sabotage myself in the process.
Yeah.
But if I would look just for the why,
that's one of the advice.
How is not it's gonna go.
Yeah, exactly. That's what Dr. Langer was saying also, that a lot of people don't ask the why, and we did one session on the why a couple of months ago, but don't ask how. And one of the examples she gave is that people who try to lose weight, for example, okay, they would ask the question, how can I lose weight? But they never ask, why did I gain weight? If they ask the why, they will know the answer how, but they never ask. Yes. So all the thinking process up here is going to bring the results in reality on our physical body. Yeah. So that's really, really good. But so with that, I think I will start guiding a session on this meditation, and let's see what we can do. So You can lay down just like Laura if you want to. If you want to stretch your legs, you can too. So whichever position you want to be, that's okay, as long as you feel comfortable. Because you don't want to have the discomfort that distracts your concentration and practice. So let's start with taking a few deep breaths in and out. And bring your awareness to your breath. And just know how you breathe. If you breathe in, If you breathe in slow and deep, okay? And if you breathe out, make sure it is lower than you breathe in. And also breathe through your nose, because breathing through your nose is much better than breathing through your mouth. And as you breathe slowly and deeply, you may become more aware of your breathing and your body. And you may notice that you start to feel more relaxed. As you focus on your breath, get to know your breathing. Because the majority of the time, we are not aware of how we breathe. Because breathing comes automatic. And in this practice, you can close your eyes if you prefer to close your eyes. But if you prefer to open your eyes, that is okay too. So breathing in, we know we are breathing in slowly and deeply. And breathing out, we know we are breathing out slower than breathing in. And sometimes when you practice, you will notice that your mind is taking you somewhere else and you forget to focus on your breath. When that happens, you just tell yourself, return to this moment, return to this breath. And breathing in, we know we are breathing in. Breathing out, we know we're breathing out. As you breathe, you may notice maybe your neck muscles and your shoulders are tight. And you can just let it go. Relax. This is the practice of living in the present moment. And as we raise our awareness, we may be more aware of what's going on in our environment. You may suddenly hear the sound of the air from the ventilator, the air conditioning. Or we may notice the birds chirping outside. We are aware of those noises. Or we may become more aware of the taste in our mouth. We see that maybe our mouths are a little bit dry. Or we can notice that we have more production of saliva as we take deep breaths in and out. As we take deep breaths in and out, we may become more aware of the air that we breathe in. We may appreciate the sense of the warm air flowing into our nose. Deep breathing in and slowly breathing out. As you do the deep breathing practice, you may become more aware of how your heart is beating. Is your heart in a calm state or in an anxious state? Hopefully by now you would feel more relaxed. You can tell yourself to relax as well, just like this. Breathing in, I am relaxing. Breathing out, I am relaxing. I'm letting go of all the tension in my body. With each deep and slow breath in and out, I'm letting go of all the negative energy and frequencies. With each deep breath in and out, I am enjoying this very present moment. I'm enjoying my existence in this present moment. I appreciate this very present moment that is filled with life. And I am living this present moment without judgment. As I'm enjoying this present moment, I am more aware of my thought process. I know what thoughts are coming and going. And if I see negative thoughts, I will let them go by like the clouds. I will watch them go by like clouds. And I feel comfortable with that process, since it's a non-judgmental process with no frustration, no criticism. When I see positive thoughts, I embrace them with gratitude. And I thank them for giving me strength. Breathing in, we know we're breathing in. Breathing out, we know we're breathing out. as we practice this mindfulness meditation, we are on the path of self-discovery. In this present moment, we know exactly what's going on with our bodies and our minds. If we see our monkey minds wandering, we can tell our monkey minds to return to this breath, return to this present moment. Deep, slow breath in. Slow, longer breath. In the next few minutes, As we take deep breaths in and out, let's focus on our thoughts. And be an observer of our thoughts. This is a mind-on-mind practice. Deep breath in. Return to this present moment. Slowly breathing out. Return to this breath. You breathe in and out. See what you can feel in your body. As you breathe in and out deeply and slowly, you can also say to yourself positive affirmations. Hopefully, we are now in the state of peace. We can share that peace by sending it out to the world. I invite you to take a few more deep, strong breaths. Start bringing your awareness to your hands and feet. You can start moving your hands and feet. And also you can start open your eyes and return to this room. Awesome. That was half an hour of practice. So each time I guide, I purposely guide for half an hour because that again is scientifically based, right? Evidence based. So if you practice for a solid half an hour with breath work, lots of good things will happen in your body. It brings a lot of physical benefit. You know, your mood will improve, your concentration will improve, your memory, your energy will improve, your sleep tonight will improve, your gut microbiome, gut health will improve, your inflammation will go down. They measure it in the blood, and your immunity will be stronger, and all that the genes expression in your DNA are is influence, right? Bad genes got turned off or toned down, good genes get activated. So and they prove by research, by lab work. So at least 30 minutes or more. Yeah. If you do 5 minutes, it helps with your anxiety. Your mood will start to come down, but that's it. When they measure the amount of inflammation in the blood, all the inflammatory cytokines, they don't see the drop in the level after 5 minutes, after 30 minutes. No, after 30 minutes is when they start to see the drop in the blood. The same when they examine the expression of the genes in the gene pool, they don't see the change in the gene pool gene expression until half an hour or beyond. But like for memory, if you do 13 or 15 minutes every single day, then they can see it on the MRI of the brain after 8 weeks. After 8 weeks, they can see the increase in the thickness of the gray matter where memory is, memory is held. So, yeah. And that's why I said to get the best benefits, all the benefits, do at least half an hour. So how is everybody doing? How was your session and practice? Yeah? Good? And any difficulty? Your monkey mind was not wandering. I guess we've been doing that. Yeah? Yeah. So. Yeah. There will be a time when you just like you are in a space where there's not even a thought coming into the space, not even a thought, and that's deep meditation when it's just there. Your mind is very, very still and no thought coming in and out at all. You're not thinking even. Yeah.
I did have thoughts. Realized, oh, I'm thinking about something else. Slowly move it back.
Yeah.
It was very slow. It wasn't racing.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
it was easy about my breath and what I hear.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Kept coming back to
Yeah.
breathing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I reached exactly what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
Just came naturally.
There's no thought.
All I had at one point the desire to look at the nature.
Yeah.
Like I had my eyes closed, but at one point I was like, I just want to see the nature.
Yeah.
Like, how beautiful. So I just opened the eyes. But like you said, I reached that point with thoughts. Just looking forward to what you're saying and the guidance.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, but when I practice sometimes,
But sometimes there it's not that.
But when you are aware of your thought process, you can you are an observer of your thoughts, and you can just know exactly what's going on with your thinking process, and then you can make good decision that way. Yeah. Well, with that, let's stand up and stretch, and we can do a few rounds of walking meditation. So, walking meditation, like at home, we walk in the house, but not a lot of the time that we walk with mindfulness. Mindfulness walking. Yeah. Thank you. Oh, we have to return anyway. So, okay. So I use the bell, and I think some people like the sound of the bell. When I first took the lesson with the monk, he would use the bell, and at first, when I took the lessons with him, I couldn't concentrate. I keep thinking about a lot of things. So, and then I started using the sound of the bell to help me to focus. So whenever he rang the bell, I just use my hearing sense and just focus on the sound of the bell and follow the sound until it disappeared. Yeah. So it's fun. So the bell was my tool that helped me to get into my practice. So with this one, with each bell, we step up with our legs, right, and we walk. Okay, and we pay attention to the sensation of how our feet touch the ground, how we interact with the surrounding as we walk as well. Okay, yeah, let's go. And continue to take deep breaths in and out as you walk. do one more round. All right, so we want to just share for a few minutes our experience, our thoughts about this session. And then we'll have a drink. So, how was your experience today then, Annan? The second session.
It was lovely. It feels really nice to not be thinking about the things I have to do or the things I should be doing. I actually should be taking this time to take care of myself
Mm-hmm.
and giving myself what I need.
Right.
That's what was coming to me.
Yes. Yeah. So, have you been practicing at home?
I've done some at home.
Yes. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
good. Yeah. Yeah. Cultivate the daily practice is great, right? It's a good habit. Yeah. Yeah. How was your experience today, Claire?
Very good.
Yes.
I do know what you mean about the monkey mind, and luckily I didn't have that today.
Yes.
So it was a little peaceful.
Yes. That's good. Yeah.
It was very good. I do listen to, her name is Hafiz. Greek. Anyway.
Yes.
I do listen to her, and some of that positiveness that she promotes, I felt the same.
Yes.
Feeling
Uh-huh.
from you. So
Yeah.
I don't know if that just made me feel more encouraged maybe tomorrow to listen to her and walk through this.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was helpful.
Yeah. Yeah. But when I find that if I use evidence, scientific evidence, then my patients are more likely to practice. Whereas just if I say it's someone else say that and it's not proven by research, it's hard to convince them to practice. Yeah. So.
I wouldn't be how do you say, an exception to this rule. To me, if it resonates with what I'm experiencing, and I take, like I say, wow, that's something I've never tried. I would, if it resonates, I would actually try it.
So part of that is being open-minded too, because there's there are a lot of things that are not proven by research yet, but it doesn't mean that it's not true or right? Because it takes time for research to be done. Yeah. So, and Judy, how was your session?
Thank you for cleaning so much. That's just like the moment that I Just like
Yes.
looking forward to
Mm-hmm.
enjoying the moment that I'm here by myself.
Yeah.
For myself, like time wise and
Yes.
relaxing.
Yes.
A daily busy day, then time for that. That's yourself and
Yeah.
keep guiding. Okay, you're breathing in, you bring yourself to your body.
Yeah.
So this is time for
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Same with me, but I know I can do it at home by myself. I do it on the daily basis, not as long as half an hour because, I'm too busy during the week. But I really enjoy doing it here because of the companionship and, it's different. It's, the energy is different. So this is my time for healing also. This is my personal time. Yeah. So I always enjoy this session. Yeah. So I go away from here feeling really like that, So, yeah. Yeah. So, well, thank you so much for coming and practicing with me today. I appreciate that. Thank you. And I forgot to say hello to people on the YouTube, but thank you also for watching. I'm not a very, very good, person to do these social media things. So, but it comes.
There is no standard.
Mhm.
Good is
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
whomever.
just be yourself, right? Just be
Exactly,
yourself.
yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I will be here next week, but the week after that I'll be traveling for a course, so I won't be here. And then the week after that is Thanksgiving, right? So everybody will stay home and spend time with family, and we can resume after that. So
December will be except Christmas.
yeah, Christmas and New Year we won't be here, right?
Probably first 2 Sundays.
Yes, yeah. Actually, I have to travel 1 week in December. I think it's the 6th or the 7th, the weekend. That weekend I travel. This year I travel so much. It's all meeting and training and learning. So I have one trip coming up in 2 weeks, and then another trip the first week of December. That weekend I will be traveling again for meeting. But I will be here.
Then is the Thanksgiving off.
Yeah.
Then is the week you're traveling, so then 3 Saturdays would be kind of off.
No, I won't be back after Thanksgiving, right? After Thanksgiving, I will be back for 1 week, and then I will be off for the week after that, and then yes.
When is
I think it is
27.
I think it is 3 in a row.
Is it 3 in a row?
22nd, 29th, and 6th.
Oh,
That's why.
all right.
That's what I
So 3 in a row.
envisioned.
Yeah. Yeah.
Basically, 2 more Saturdays and then
Yeah.
a big vacation.
Yeah. Yeah.
3 off.
Yeah, 3 weeks in a row.
Just
Yeah.
one more Saturday.
Oh, just one more. The 14th or the 15th. The 15th. And then
The 15th.
On, you have to then 3 off. I work
Yes.
once a month, and that is my next. So then I got 4 weeks in a row.
Oh,
yeah, you have a month.
you got a month.
off.
So you have to practice at home. Yes. Yeah.
And I work away again on the 6th, the last week of off.
Oh.
I work again.
Yes, so no, we're about to wrap up. Yes, thank you. I wish everybody a very lovely, peaceful, happy weekend. Enjoy yourself and your family, and set goal and do some exercise, whatever your goals are. Okay. Yes, namaste.
Namaste.
Yeah.